The biggest threat yet to the iPhone has finally landed at Apple's door, the Samsung Galaxy S4. Whether the Korean firm's latest flagship is good enough to win over Apple faithfuls remains to be seen, so we've taken a quick look at how the two devices compare. A 16GB S4 will set you back around £580, which is £50 more than the iPhone 5 with the same capacity. Still, the iPhone 5 remains too expensive in our eyes, even more so when compared to the newer and far more powerful smartphones emerging onto the scene. The S4 makes no excuses for being a large handset, which is necessary to hone that whopping 5-inch screen. By this dictum, the iPhone 5 is a sleeker, lighter device, and also has a more premium feel thanks to its glass and aluminium construction. The Samsung Galaxy S4's 5-inch screen comes in the form of a spectacular Full HD Super AMOLED. The iPhone 5's 4-inch Retina is a very decent offering too, although it's easily beaten by the S4, which is the best we've seen on a smartphone to date. If it wasn't enough that Apple's biggest rival is a Samsung device, the company also has to deal with the fact that the S4 is powered by Google's mighty Android. Though iOS is a straightforward, tried and tested system, it's also very dated, having barely changed throughout its existence. Android is undoubtedly a more flexible OS, and we love the clean, clear layout of TouchWiz. Apple will have to start making changes to iOS soon if it wants to stay ahead of the game. Processing power is somewhere these devices really stand apart, with the iPhone 5's 1.2GHz dual-core A6 chip looking positively measly when compared to the S4's 1.9GHz quad-core Qualcomm 600. Still, though the S4 carries a much heftier processor, the iPhone 5 still packs an efficient yet powerful chip, and there'd be no point in Apple throwing in a quad-core just for the sake of it. The iPhone 5 offers more storage options for the time being, coming in 16, 32 and 64GB models. However, 32 and 64GB models of the S4 are set to be on the way. This means potential for up to 128GB memory in total through microSD. Both devices deliver strong camera offerings, but it's impossible to ignore the huge step up in the quality of the S4. At 13 megapixels, the S4 offers one of the best smartphone cameras on the market, and is capable of some truly fantastic pictures in a wide range of environments, and also has a slightly better front-facing lens too. The S4 and iPhone 5 both support LTE networks and include Bluetooth 4.0 and Wi-Fi. While the iPhone 5 will no doubt communicate better with your devices if you're already part of the Apple ecosystem, the S4 also comes with NFC, infrared and a microSD slot. The S4's battery life is something to be lauded. In our tests we found that nothing could really hurt it, and we still have plenty of juice left at the end of the day even with a fair amount of use. The iPhone 5's battery isn't exactly bad, and it should be able to see you through to the evening on most days. Still, a couple of times we managed to run the battery down by mid-afternoon simply through general testing. There can be no doubt that the Galaxy S4 is the winner here in terms of specs. It has a superior screen, a more powerful processor, better camera and more options for connectivity and memory expansion. There's also a bunch of features in the S4 the iPhone 5 simply has no counterpart for, such as smart scrolling and air gestures, even though we didn't find these of much use. Although iPhones will continue to sell by the bucket load, the S4 will definitely give Apple something to think about, particularly as phones packing this sort of power and innovation begin to become the standard.